Chapter 8, The Fire Within. As your squad returns to the station, a heavy feeling of frustration settles in your gut. You sigh as you pile out of the engine. None of you have said a word to each other in what feels like an hour. We were so close to catching the arsonist. I can't believe he slipped through my fingers. Phoenix and Liang hop off the truck and silently stalk off in different directions. And after Phoenix hugged me without thinking, I'm sure Liang is back on the warpath. Seeing your morose expression, Amelia wraps a consoling arm around your shoulders. I know you're probably having a thunderstorm of emotions right now, Ridley. Just try not to blame yourself for any of it. You did one hell of a job today, and we will catch that creep eventually. Yeah, you were totally heroic back there. A little reckless, maybe, but, Lux and Amelia shoot Declan a dirty look, and he holds up his hands in surrender. A reckless, heroic. To be honest, I wish I could have done more. Was it reckless? Maybe, but I can't help feeling like I almost got him. If I had called the police instead of running after him myself, maybe he'd be in cuffs right now. Or the pause to call for backup would have been the extra time he needed to get away. We'll never know. I know it doesn't help anyone to dwell on the what-ifs. It doesn't make this pill any easier to swallow. Like I said, Ridley, this isn't on you. Try to be kind to yourself. On some level, I guess I know I couldn't have done more to catch the arsonist. I just hate to lose. Then it'll taste even sweeter when we beat that bastard once and for all. A quick shower later, and you're almost managed to put the arsonist out of your mind. But still, when you round the corner, you stop in your tracks. Your squad, minus Liang, are gathered around your locker. Please tell me this is an intervention. I heard you when you said I was being reckless, Declan. It's not like that, kiddo. It's just, we know how disappointed you are about the arsonist. And we have a little gift that could make up for it. The four of them exchange smiles as Declan comes to the front with something behind his back. Ridley, you've exhibited nothing but bravery since you came to 57, and we just wanted to show our appreciation. Normally this is reserved for after you finish your probation period, but after the hell you've been through these past few weeks, we thought it couldn't hurt to give it to you early. We all chipped in to get it for you. You guys are gonna make me cry. My emotions are already all over the place because of the stupid arsonist. Oh no, do not cry. Yeah, if you cry, then she'll cry. Best to avoid the mascara tracks and snot while we can. Honestly, Ridley, we've been nothing but impressed with you since day one. Which is why... Declan holds up a bomber jacket with Engine 57 stitched on the front and your surname embroidered on the back. I guess, your size, perks of being a former model, you know? You have a knack for this kind of thing. Oh, please, you totally sneaked a peek at her clothes in her locker. Can you just let me be cool for 1 second of my life, Lux? You laugh, but take the jacket from Declan, running your fingers over the embroidery. It's amazing. This must have cost you a fortune. You don't even have to worry about it. You've more than earned it, Ridley. So, are you going to keep us in suspense, or are you going to try it on? Diamond Choice. Your Pixelberry gifts should not be paid for by yourself. They're gifts. Amelia helps you slip into the jacket, and you take a moment to admire yourself in the mirror. It fits like a glove. Oh, told you I know my stuff. You turn this way and that in front of the mirror, appreciating how cool you look. This is overwhelmingly honest. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate you. Honestly, Ridley, you're the heart of the squad, even though we've only known each other for a short time. You're one of us, whether you like it or not. Thanks, everybody. I'm so glad I joined the squad. You've made me feel so welcome. Like I'm really a part of the team. Well, we'd be lost without you. You've taken this team from a mess to slightly less of a mess. Suddenly the locker room door bangs open and Phoenix looms in the doorway. Ridley, my office now. Storms off without waiting for you to follow. Harold grimaces and pats your shoulder. Good luck, Ridley. I have a feeling you'll need it. Your legs feel heavy as you walk to his office. You take a deep breath to steady yourself. It's smoky in the office. I don't understand it. He's gonna chew you out, Ridley. Just put your head down and take it. But when you get to his office, Liang is also there, looking as agitated as ever. Looks like we both got detention, huh, Ridley? Quiet, Liang. Sit down, Ridley. Feeling your resolve waver, you sink into the seat beside Liang. Phoenix paces behind his desk, his jaw clenched. We've talked over and over and over again about your need to run headfirst into danger. It's not a need, Chief. Please don't interrupt me. I chose to become your mentor so I could break you of these habits. Please, everyone in this room knows why you really decided to mentor her. Phoenix slams his hand down on his desk, startling even Liang. Why do you still insist on being reckless, on risking your own life? You didn't seem to mind when I was helping you on the Ferris wheel. That was different, and you know it. Now answer my question. You sit there staring down the angry Chief, wondering if it's even worth defending your actions. Liang gives you an appraising look, clearly wondering if you'll concede to the Chief. Chief, I admit I had a lapse in judgment. You're damn right you did. Think about your training, Ridley. Now tell me what you should have done. Liang tuts disapprovingly, thinking further into his seat as you consider your training. I should have called my squad leader as soon as I spotted the arsonist and waited for my instructions. And you just let the guy get away. Come on, Shay. Even you have to realize how much you're hindering her. You're startled by Liang's defense of your decision and his use of the Chief's first name. It's Chief or Phoenix when you address me. Better yet, don't address me at all. What, so I can't talk? Why the hell did you bring me into your office then? Because this fiasco was your fault. Oh, here we go again. Tell me just what the hell I did wrong. Letting a probie wander off alone, encouraging her to insubordination. I could go on. Liang stands up and gets right in Phoenix's face, equally as fired up. Ridley handled herself like a veteran in there. She helped me out of a tight spot. A spot you should have been able to get out of alone. So, you think if I'm in danger I should just tough it out, even if it could kill me? Liang laughs bitterly. That'd solve your big problem, wouldn't it, Shay? Getting me out of the way, once and for all. You go tense as the Chief's eyes widen. We're here to talk about your professional indiscretions, not my history with you. Dodging the question. Typical Shay. I won't warn you not to use my first name again, Liang. Look, I had no idea Ridley was going to go vigilante and charge into the funhouse. Well, that would have never happened if you followed protocol and kept her with you until you could personally hand her off to another squad leader. Protocol. It's rich coming from you. Oh, they're talking about me like I'm not even here, and it's not like it's Liang's fault I chased the arsonist. I should... No, Liang's right. Speak up and defend Liang. Chief, this isn't on Liang. I'm an adult and made my own decision. Maybe, but Liang was derelict in his duty of being an effective superior. If we're going to talk about dereliction of duty, I've got a growing list of all your offenses. There you go, shifting blame again. It's like Shelley all over again. Suddenly, Liang slams his hands on Phoenix's desk. How dare you bring her into this? You jump into action, grabbing the back of Liang's jacket to prevent a fight from escalating. Liang, settle down. We don't want anyone to get hurt. Too late for that. Plenty of people have been hurt thanks to Shay. You struggle to keep Liang contained, all while Phoenix looks on, his mouth agape. For once, he looks truly stunned. You might as well admit it, Shay, throwing your weight around, talking down to me, micromanaging the squad. It's all because you couldn't save her. You son of a... He balls his hands in a fist just as the door to the office bangs open. We heard yelling. What the hell's going on in here? Chief and Liang are acting like children. He's the one who started making a scene. Liang manages to wrench himself from your grip and punches Phoenix in the jaw. God damn it, Liang. Dude! Phoenix rapples with Liang, throwing a couple of defensive blows. I've had it, Shay. I've seriously had it. Trust me, buddy, you and me both. Phoenix and Liang are out for each other's throats, while you, Declan, and Lux are helpless on the sidelines. You're not going to try and stop it. Whatever this is really about, it's not really worth it. You tried desperately to keep the two of them off each other, but they're both seeing red, grappling like MMA fighters. This is really bad. They could end up seriously hurting each other at this point. Seriously, you both need to relax. Think of... Well, they're thinking of Shelley, that's the problem. The Squad. We just went through a merger, dealing with an arsonist, and this is how you choose to settle your differences? I thought you were supposed to be setting an example for the rest of us. It's a gamble, bringing the Squad into this, but it seems to work. Both of them go slack, their chests heaving. Phoenix is nursing a sore jaw, while Liang's eye is bruised. Amelia and Harold linger in the doorway, looking shocked. Harold clears his throat. Stefan, why don't we take a walk? Just you and me. You're surprised when Liang straightens up. You think you can see tears shining in his eyes. He stalks off with Harold, muttering something under his breath that you barely catch. Waste of 20 years of friendship. Amelia motions for Lux and Declan to follow her out of the room. You stand in silence as Phoenix sinks into his chair, wincing. Respectfully, Chief, that was really bad. He grunts and sighs, passing a hand over his face. I'm really sorry you had to see that, Ridley. Never imagined he'd lose control like that. And you lost it too. Really, to be honest, Chief, you weren't exactly de-escalating the situation. His eyes flicker out, meeting your gaze. You can see deep regret in his expression, but anger too. Check out those bruises. You step around the desk and reach for his face. He jerks away instinctively. Relax. I just want to assess the damage. Reluctantly, he relaxes. You gingerly tilt his face towards the light and wince at what you see. I don't think anything is broken, but maybe you might want to get the cheekbone checked, Dr. Ramsey. The last thing I want is for that smug jerk to see me like this. Smug or not, he clearly knows what he's doing. Consider your own well-being instead of your pride. He sighs and nods. Yeah, well, after all the grief I just gave you about being reckless, I can't turn around and be a hypocrite. Chief. Suddenly, there's a sharp knock on the door, and you leap away from Phoenix as Amelia appears panting. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt a moment. There's no moment. What'd you need, Goodry? It's just, we have a surprise visitor. Is it the Commissioner? She steps aside and you're confronted by the last person you'd hope to see in a moment like this. What the actual hell is happening in the station, Chief? The Commissioner looks furious. You're starting to understand why Declan says she's not all sunshine and daisies. Commissioner Campbell. I would say this is a pleasant surprise, but... I just dropped in to learn two of my most seasoned firefighters got into a brawl. Honestly, Shay, with Engine 57 in such a bad position, what the hell were you thinking? This is bad. I need to find a way to deflect blame from Phoenix. I know this looks bad, Commissioner, but... I mean, he didn't throw the first punch, so he didn't technically start it. I swear, Chief Phoenix did not set out to hurt Liang. Liang let his anger get the better of him. It won't happen again. Commissioner Campbell fixes Phoenix with a look of pure disappointment. See that it doesn't, Chief, and to think I actually came here to commend your squad. You did incredible work at the carnival. I hope you're not jeopardizing the progress you've made. Commissioner, I apologize you had to witness this. It's just, well, you know, Liang and I aren't exactly friendly. Certain sensitive topics were brought up during our discussion of his negligence. Commissioner frowns. A pit forms in your stomach as you realize that Phoenix might just have to be digging himself into a deeper hole. I just smooth things over with her. If Phoenix keeps talking, he might undo that. You subtly position yourself between Phoenix and the Commissioner, putting on a winning smile. Commissioner, I think Chief Phoenix might need to refreshen up. Let's grab some coffee in the break room. The Commissioner looks from you to Chief Phoenix, who seems to have realized the mistake he almost made. It sounds like an excellent idea, Ridley. Sometimes you can say too much. As you escort the Commissioner to the kitchen, you see Amelia and Declan hovering on the periphery. Declan mouths. All good? You give him a tight nod as you lead Commissioner Campbell to a seat. I have to say I love the improvements you've made to the common room, and it looks brand new. Well, I was considering your advice. Nothing brings people together like creature comforts. Smokey ambles over to the Commissioner, and she scratches him idly behind the ears as you fix her a cup of coffee. Not to be ignored, Ash curls around the commissioner's ankles, purring. You cute little baby. It's a good idea keeping pets at a firehouse. I already feel like my blood pressure stabilizing. A furry friend will do that for you. Here. You put her coffee down on the table and sink into a seat beside her. Commissioner, thank you for recognizing our work at the carnival. It was tough letting the arsonist slip through our fingers, but we saved a lot of lives. That's what matters at the end of the day. Getting the arsonist off the street is important, sure, but you did invaluable work rescuing those civilians. You should be proud. I know. Your support honestly means more than I can say. The commissioner smiles at you for a long moment until her focus shifts to your jacket. I see Deck finally gave you the jacket. It really suits you. You should have seen him, agonizing over the specifics. Should we go with blue thread, black? Mom, you're making me sound like a loser. Oh, come on. There's nothing wrong with having an eye for detail. Amelia and Declan take seats across the table. Amelia shifts her weight slightly, looking a bit awkward. It looks like someone's nervous to be around her potential mother-in-law. So, as I was saying, Ridley, I came by here today to commend your station for your work at the carnival. I wanted to show you by coming here that you have my full support of the office, as well as the mayor's. I'm sure I speak for the whole house when I say how grateful we are. Firefighting can be a thankless job, much of the time. Along that vein, I was also hoping to take you and some fellow 57s out for dinner, if you and some of your squad are free tonight. Or maybe I really did come at a bad time. Dinner with you? Oh, that sounds amazing. I have so many questions. About firefighting, right? The look of pure panic on Declan's face makes you smile mischievously. Oh, I can't resist the opportunity to see Deck squirm. Plus, the commissioner might have updates on the arsonist. How could we say no to seeing Declan squirm? Anyway, let's round up who's free. I'm guessing you, the lovely Amelia, my adorable spawn. This is gonna be a long night, isn't it? Plus Harold and Lux make 6. I'm guessing Chief and Ling Yang need some time to lick their wounds. Good thinking. We'll just have to hope they don't kill each other while we're gone. A short drive later, you're treated to a table at a nice restaurant downtown. Declan is sandwiched between the commissioner and Amelia, looking pale. When I was in training, I read the article about the mall fire that your squad put out, Commissioner. They wrote that you scaled the stairs 4 at a time to rescue an elderly civilian. Underestimating me, as usual. I'm pretty sure I took the entire flight in 2 steps. That's athletic. Is that why you volunteered to coach Declan's track team? I'm pretty sure that was just her way of keeping an eye on me. You make it sound like you were a handful, Declan. You don't know the half of it. The kid got detention once for writing his phone number on every girl's desk. I wrote it on some of the guys, too. Like that fucking matters. Like, what? I'm not sure that defense you think it is, bud. Uh-huh. You all laugh while Declan sinks lower in his seat. Mr. Campbell pats his shoulder lovingly. What are you all red in the face for? You turned out okay. Honestly, Declan is... we'll go still with kind of a handful. Tell me about it. Ask him about the time he almost pranked the chief. Not now, Lux. This is fun. If I knew you kids could keep my son on his toes, I would have invited you out a lot earlier. Thank you, by the way, for the invitation. It's been a long time since I had a nice meal out. You deserve to be treated to something nice. Your squad has done a great job coming together these days. Ridley has been a big part of that. She came along and immediately started whipping us into shape. And by whipping, I mean showing us compassion and friendship. I'm glad to hear it, but not surprised. I had selected Ridley to join 57 for that very reason. You never told us that, Ridley. I'm secretly also an FBI and CIA agent. I work for the KGB. No, continue. I'm a woman of many talents. I guess I have been keeping that close to the vest. I didn't want you to think that I was some kind of spy. I was hired partly to help the squad, but that's not the only reason I've been getting close to you all. Ah, look, as far as ulterior motives go, making sure everyone keeps their job isn't so bad. Besides, it's nice to have a person on the inside when everything's been so rocky lately. You have nothing to thank you for your position, but your own achievements, Ridley. Thank you, Commissioner. I just try to do my best every day. It shows, and since we're calling out the positives, is there anyone you'd like to single out for your growth? You take a moment to look around at the table of your squad. Honestly, everyone has been incredibly helpful in different ways. Cop out. It's true. How am I supposed to choose just one of you when you've all been trying so hard? I don't know. I'm with Lux here. There's got to be someone who's been putting in extra work. I'm sure the others won't blame you if you don't say it's them. Yeah, I'll only hold it against you a little, I swear. Fine. I guess there is one person who really stands out to me. Oh, don't do this. Okay. Amelia's the same old, same old. She's a great confidant. Declan's okay. Nothing really has changed, or he's really stood out. Lux is kind of the same as Declan. It's between Amelia and Harold. Harold really brought it together with putting the firehouse together, also the animals. So I'm going to go with Harold. He's been supportive of the squad no matter what. Plus, he keeps us all fed. It's the least I can do. You kids are always sticking your necks out for other people. Yeah, and we provide important stuff to Harold, too. Remember all the slang I taught you? I vaguely remember slay, but I honestly don't remember how to use it. You see, all of the camaraderie and love for each other, that's what a firehouse is supposed to be about. I just wish Chief Phoenix and Liang could follow your lead and put their issues aside and work together. Yeah, that's one relationship I can't figure out how to mend. No, I can. They're two guys. Let's see if the choices in between now and the end of this chapter will figure it out, or I will offer that suggestion at the end. The squad falls quiet, and the Commissioner looks from one pensive face to the next with a grimace. Sorry, I didn't mean to kill the mood. It's just the two of them have had it out for each other for years. Maybe their little scuffle today was good for them. They've been carrying around so much animosity. That's not a bad point. Maybe it helped them get it out of their systems. You can't seriously be suggesting violence is the answer? Trust me, I've seen enough fisticuffs to learn that it rarely solves anything. I'm inclined to agree with Harold here. It's not a good look for two high-ranking firefighters to be fighting in the station. Ridley, you've been working closely with Chief Phoenix. Do you think there's hope for reconciliation? I think they need to be separated. Shit, this is tough. This is actually tough. They need to be separated. Unfortunately, I think Liang will continue to second-guess the chief on everything until he's made a chief again himself. But with all the budget cuts, Liang becoming a chief again isn't a given, and I can't just keep moving him to a different station. To me, it just seems like a case of two top dogs fighting for dominance. I think there's more to it than that. Something personal happened between them. They were childhood friends, if I remember right. They even went through the academy together. It's really sad, honestly. Before the horrible accident, the three of them were inseparable. The three of them? Are you talking about Shelley? The rest of the squad looks at you curiously. The Commissioner takes a deep sip of wine, looking thoughtful. Shelley was a gem. She never wanted her death to drive a wedge between her two best friends. So Shelley did die. I want to ask about the situation more, but is it the time and place? No, I want the truth to come from Phoenix himself. One thing I know for sure is Shelley would have had a lot of ideas about how to handle this damn arsonist. At the risk of killing the boss even further, I should tell you, someone spotted the arsonist leaving the carnival looking very frustrated. I chased his ass. Great. If we bruised his ego, then I bet he's planning to up his game next time. About that, Ridley, you need to be very careful. You're the one who thwarted his last attempt. It wouldn't surprise me if the arsonist started targeting you and your squad specifically. You think he'll come for me? Let him try. I'm trained in more than just putting out fires. If he wants to fight, he'll get one. I don't know, Ridley. I wouldn't be so quick to rise to his challenge. Yeah, the guy has proved he's dangerous, and he's always been a step ahead of us. I'm afraid they're right, Ridley. Be sure to take extra caution. You sit silently with news stewing on the fresh anxiety and apprehension that rise within you. Hey, Ridley, it's gonna be okay. If he wants you, he'll have to go through all of us. Amelia's right. I may harbor violence, or may abhor it, but I'm willing to protect you if it comes to that. Let's just catch the D-bag so I can worry about something else for a change, like passing my probation. Plus, the arsonist is hardly a challenge compared to winning the Chief Phoenix's respect. I don't know about that. I'd be willing to bet Phoenix already respects you a lot. I saw how he looked at you in his office. Clearly he admires you. You smile, but your heart skips a beat as you lock eyes with Amelia. How much does the commissioner see? You return to the firehouse with a flurry of questions swirling around in your mind. If the arsonist is really targeting me specifically, what should I do? There's no way in hell I'm letting the squad suffer because of my actions, but even if I request a transfer, he'll still come for me, and I don't want to leave this team. You hear a rustling from the fire engine and freeze. You didn't realize you weren't alone in this room. Relax, Ridley. Don't jump to any conclusions. You creep around the side of the engine, prepared for the worst, but instead... Chief? You see Phoenix sitting against the truck, wrapping a bandage around his bruised wrists, and he nods. You look spooked. Were you expecting the arsonist? Oh, you're funny! Well, yeah, but he doesn't need to know that. Chief, it's been at least 2 hours since your fight. You're just getting around to cleaning up? It took a while to tidy my office, plus I may or may not have sat and stewed in my own rage for a while. Oh, stewing in your rage, huh? It sounds productive. He offers you a crooked smile. You'd be surprised. Stop me from punching any holes in my wall, anyway. That's a start, I guess. A long silence sits between you as Phoenix fiddles with the bandage. I didn't get to tell you before, but the jacket, it looks good. That almost sounded like a thoughtful compliment. I don't know how thoughtful I'm capable of being today, but seeing you in our engine number, I'm proud of you, seriously. Thank you, Chief. He nods awkwardly, fidgeting with his bandages. So, how was dinner? Do you really care? Or are you just stalling so you don't have to talk about your fight? You hold your gaze, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he smiles. A little column A, a lot of column B. You can't help smile. A little despite yourself, you draw a level with him and take the bandage out of his hands. You know we can't avoid the subject forever. Maybe not forever, but I was selfishly hoping I could buy myself at least another hour. I know that was an ugly scene. To say I regret what happened would be an understatement. For starters, why didn't you pull him and me aside separately to talk about the carnival fire? The truth, I don't trust myself alone with either of you. With him, because I was worried about exactly what happened today, but with you? He locks his gaze with you again, his eyes dark and intense with longing. Well, you know how much I struggle with being close to you, with not being able to touch you. Trust me, I know all about that. But Chief, this thing with Liang, you know... You and he are guilty of the same thing. What do you mean? You blame Liang for not staying with me, for letting me wander off when you told me to go check in with the squad. You personally didn't escort me over. You had a fire to go fight. We both did. Well, Liang did the same exact thing. Again, Phoenix sits for a long, silent moment, reflecting on everything you just said. There might be some truth to that, but really... He shifts slightly to turn to you and winces, rubbing at his shoulder. You're in really rough shape, Chief. Let me get you some ice. But as you start for the kitchen, he catches your hand. Really, I'm sorry for blowing up. I just thought I was going to lose you all over again. You're right, I did take that out on Liang. This has been a wake-up call. I can't let my personal history get in the way of doing my job. You mean Liang or me? There's a long silence. Initially, Phoenix refuses to meet your eyes, but eventually he looks at you again. Both. No matter how worried I am about you, I can't block you from doing your job. He holds your hand for a moment longer, then drops it to clumsily continue patching his wound. He clearly having trouble with the shoulder and hand. Bandaging his wound must be tricky. Timing choice. Let's get you into the truck so I can help you out. I'm fine, Ridley. I can handle it. Not with a swollen hand, you can't. Now quit being stubborn and follow me. He chuckles quietly, but follows you into the truck and sits in one of the seats. You slot yourself between his open knees and stoop down a little to press ice to his swollen eye. He hisses in pain when the ice makes first contact, but then relaxes, resting his hand over yours. Feels nice. Thank you. Was that a genuine thank you from Chief Phoenix? Oh, I never thought I'd see the day. Okay, now you're just pushing your luck. You're quiet for a moment as your ice his eye. You don't know if it's because you're between his legs, but this feels more intimate than I was anticipating. I mean, you're between his legs, so you hand the ice off to Phoenix. Carefully and gently, you clean and bandage the tiny cut on his hand. But to your surprise, rather than staying silent, he starts to actually talk about his feelings. The stress of the merger, arsonist, seeing you in danger, all of it is starting to get to me a bit. Well, I could have told you that, but you know, the stress is perfectly normal. I know you'd like to think you're some kind of superhero, but these are all natural things to stress about. There are ways of dealing with it beyond hitting your coworker, you know? And he did hit first. He nearly smiles as you start cleaning another cut on his hand. In fairness, he started it, but I am open to suggestions. Well, you can try talking about it. Let's just start with the merger. Tell me about the specifics of what worries you. He leans back and lets out a sigh. Obviously, there's a problem of everyone getting along, and 59 having to adapt to a new house. But what really worries me is that if this house is forced to close, several of our squad members will be laid off. Trust me, I've thought about that too. As one of the new hires, I'd be on the chopping block. You, Harold, probably Lux. Who knows who else. Of course, I'd argue to the commissioner for all of you to keep your jobs, but it would even be out. It might not even be out to her hands at that point. Exactly. The arsonist came along at the worst possible time. We were already dealing with one crisis. At the risk of sounding like an optimist, some good could come out of this. For instance, the merger brought us together. I seem to remember an apartment fire being the thing that brought us together. Initially, yeah, but we might never have seen each other again after that. I know it's complicated, but having me here, I'm grateful to just be able to spend time with you. He puffs out a sigh and places his hand over yours gently. Believe me, I'm grateful for that too, even if being around you brings up some complicated feelings. I wouldn't trade it for anything, just knowing you is enough. For now, you mean? Yes, for now. You and Phoenix smile at each other for a long moment before you realize you're unconsciously leaning too close. We're entering dangerous territory here. To your disappointment, he pulls back, clearing his throat. You know, if this firefighting thing doesn't work out, you could make a pretty good therapist. Nah, not enough danger in it for me. He laughs with you, but when he smiles, you notice the damage Liang did to his lip. It's taking everything in me not to kiss him. Get a grip, Ridley. You just zoned out a little. Is everything okay? Internal monologue, it's fine. Deadpool does it all the time. Yeah, I just noticed the damage to your lips. Phoenix brushes his lower lip with his thumb and grunts. He definitely did a number on me. Smiling slightly, you take the now melting ice pack and dab it on the crack in Phoenix's lip. You try not to focus on his tongue as it instinctively darts out to lick some of the moisture away. If you're worried about that lip, I'm sure a concealer could help. If it leaves a scar, then who cares? Some people find scars sexy. Man, I am rolling in sex appeal then. Sorry, not sorry. Phoenix raises his eyebrows with a crooked grin. After everything that happened today, you really think my vanity is at risk? Hey, I would be worried too if I had lips as nice as yours. Phoenix's gaze darts to your lips momentarily and your breath hitches. Believe me, your lips are definitely worth protecting. Flustered, you go back to tending to his eye, dabbing some aloe lotion on the tender skin. Again, he winces from the touch, but lets you continue. Good. Now, close your eyes. He follows your instructions as you begin to slowly and softly massage the area around his eyes with your thumbs. Ah, that feels amazing. Yeah, I know. I'm good at my job, which is why I'd like to keep it. Trust me, even if the worst happens, I'm sure you'll land on your feet. The commissioner clearly loves you, and she's not wrong to. I know I'm hard on you, but it's only because I know of how much potential you've shown. I wouldn't be surprised if you became a battalion chief yourself someday. You think? I honestly hadn't thought that far ahead. So think about it. Right now, where do you see yourself heading in your career? Take a moment to consider Phoenix's question as she continues massaging his eye. I want to be the best firefighter I could be, the commissioner, a battalion chief. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna go with the best firefighter I could be. Really, no dreams of rising to the top. I don't need to be big brass. I think I'd be just happy running into burning buildings and saving people every day. Yep. It's admirable, Ridley. Even though I do want to see you use your potential. You smile as you lean into Phoenix, the gentle touch of the massage sending sparks through your body. To make things worse, Phoenix hums quietly and presses against your touch, making your nerves light up. Ridley, I knew you had many talents, but I didn't suspect this was one of them. I'll be honest. I'd been hoping to show you what I could do with my hands, but this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. He laughs softly as you finish up your massage. You let your hand linger for just a moment before pulling away. Okay, let's do one last injury check. You hold up his bruised hand, examining it to make sure you took care of all the cuts. Hand is all good. Every cut has been cleaned and bandaged. My lip is starting to feel better already. And from the looks of it, your eye won't be swelling shut. I think my work here's done. Well, almost done. You hold his gaze and his eyes darken when he recognizes the hungry look on your face. You're planning to kiss it better, aren't you? Just a quick one for good measure. If it's a quick one, then okay, I'll allow it. How generous of you. Busted lip. Cupping his cheek, you lean in and gently brush your lips against his damaged lip. The kiss is soft, sweet. You watch as warm, natural smile spreads across his face. There, see? Just a quick one. A woman of her word, I like it, even if part of me was wishing for more. You pull back to gaze into his eyes and smile, a little sadly. You're not the only one who was wishing for that. I'm just trying to do what's best for us. And be on your best behavior. I know you are, and I appreciate that more than I can already say. Thank you, Ridley, for not only patching me, but listening to me and talking about some sense into me. You smile back at him, and something occurs to you when you take in his relaxed, gentle expression. He just opened up to me more than usual. Maybe now's a good time to ask about Shelley. Everything okay? You've got a far-off look. Everything's fine, Chief. It's just... I just want to know more about your history with Liang. You've started to tell me bits and pieces, but I feel like there's a lot more that you haven't told me. A dark cloud passes over his face and he shakes his head. I don't want to talk about that. Just tell me something. What happened between the two of you? Who was Shelley? And I really do not want to talk about Shelley. You exhale in frustration. Just when you thought he was opening up, he's put his motions back in a steel trap. It's always one step forward, two steps back with him, and I'm getting tired of trying to break down those damn walls. I don't understand why you constantly keep yourself sealed off. He throws up his hands in defeat. It's not that I'm sealing myself off, it's just I'm your superior. I shouldn't be burdening you with my personal problems. It's not a burden, it's... Oh hell, Ridley, we're not even supposed to be alone together, and look at us. Fine, I'll solve the problem. You go to storm out of the truck, but he catches your arm. Damn it, Ridley, wait. I've been waiting. I'm sick of waiting. You glare at him, who keeps his grip on your arm tight. You jut your chin out, inviting him to do what you both know he wants to do. Well, what's it gonna be, Chief? He silences your words by pulling you into a fiery kiss. Yes, but also you're not getting an answer for anything. Anyway, without further ado, before I begin to talk, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. There's also the join and thanks feature that's on the channel if you want to support in any means whatsoever. It'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, let me go ahead and get to what I have to say. So, have any of you watched Battlestar Galactica? Just curious. Let me know in the comment section. So there's a moment in the most recent one, not the like 1980 slash may have been earlier than that. Good show though, but anyway. Um, so there was like a boxing event, right? Because everyone was being so heated and there was a lot of tension and everything else. And sometimes yes, everyone is correct. There shouldn't be a fight in the firehouse, but I think these two have to file their grievances. They have to. And guys are uniquely different than women, right? I can't really speak on behalf of you ladies because all of you are so different and so complicated. I'm gonna be honest with you. Guys, however, we are simple. This is some life tips for all you ladies listening. Also, maybe some of you guys haven't figured this out either. So, we are super simple. I'm serious. Or at least maybe I am. I don't know. For me, if I get heated, I try and distance myself, and then I'll kind of stew, kind of like he was doing, and then I'll get some sleep, listen to some music, whatnot, and I come back less angry or cloudy or whatever the issue was, right? Um, and then I also do something that a lot of people don't do is give a lot of second chances, and thirds and fourths and fifths until you either really just keep doing it and you're a glutton for punishment, or I just literally you just finally cross a line with me, right? Um, especially as I've gotten older, as we all do, right? Yeah, no, your tendency and tolerance for such things shortens, okay? Um, it might be young when you're younger. It might be more. For me, it was, but yeah, no. As I've got older, I just don't have a tendency to just have tolerance for a lot of shit. So, like, I've learned to live alone and enjoy it. So with that being said, back to my point. These two, maybe they just need to get in a ring and box it out. Just let it, have a Rocky Balboa moment. Um, because things like that, it can help certain people, and you can tell these people have a lot of complicated emotions. Clearly there's they love someone, they lost someone, they are looking at one another and they're blaming one another. Again, very complicated human emotions, not just man or woman, but human. To me, I feel like that would work. For guys, again, I've been told so many things as a guy not to do. Like we're not supposed to express our feelings. We're not supposed to show that, a lot of people complain that guys don't care, and then we're also told by society, parental groups, yada yada yada, that we're supposed to be a guy, we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to be a support beam, we're supposed to be, we literally and figuratively are the people who are drafted first and foremost, and no matter the age, and we're the first to be cannon fodder and all this other shit. Us guys are kind of like the disposable income, I guess. We're just put out there, right? And then we're told who, what, when, where, dress this way, act this way, speak this way. Life makes it more complicated versus how we just want to be naturally, how we're built. And if you let a guy be who they are, right? A lot of us just want to talk and be simple, right? Like, how are you doing today? It's pretty rough. Oh, well, what happened? Just pain, physical, emotional. Just that's it. And it's just like, oh, and you just try and support in the best way you possibly can if you are capable of that. A lot of people don't seem to be that way. We are simple, man. We will literally tell you shit, but we also have to trust you. A lot of guys have to trust you. I am one that has to trust you. So because just been hurt way too many times. Like a lot of people will use, well, how was your day? Well, it was pretty bad. Oh, okay. And then they'll use whatever you tell them the next time there's a fight or they're trying to get something over on you or they're trying to guilt you or whatnot. So being a guy is very, very complicated. Like, I can honestly say never once in my entire life, whether it be guy, girl, or Apache attack helicopter, I don't care what you are. Never once in my entire life have I ever used anything against someone, even when they've hurt me. Like, I just cut bonds. I just literally cut friends out of my circle because I'm like, you know what? Hey, I'm not gonna play the game that you're playing. I want you out of my life. You're not worth the drama. I'm out, dude. Bye. You're just gone. And that's how I am. There's no point in being two wrongs don't make a right and being a vicious, venomous person back at the person. There's no point. So again, multiple life lessons here. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Hopefully you know listen to these things at the end. This is something that I try and do with this channel is I try and not just bring you guys the entertainment that you want, but if you stay to like the ends of these things, I typically will talk about things, how I look at things and whatnot. And in a way, it kind of makes me enjoy the chapter when I talk about things and I rant and I get things off my chest. So this is one chapter and one book right now. Really the only book that Choices is writing right now. Besides that new one, the little scary one, but that just we used to do this all the time. We even had a podcast for Choices and talking about things and summations and predictions and all this other shit. Because of how bad Choices writing is and how a lot of the writers left, that we just haven't been doing this stuff, have we? But otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.